Hey guys, it's Greg. In this video, I'd like to show you Guns of the Old West. So this is a prototype of the game. Please remember that we have standees instead of miniatures and so on. So components are not final. And the game is set in a Wild West setting. In the game, two sides are going to fight in this branching campaign where after a couple of scenarios, one of the teams wins the game. The game can be played one-on-one, but if you wish, you can play it with your friends, but you're then playing as a team. So it's not like everyone is playing as a different side. In the game, each of the sides is going to try to fulfill their own individual objectives. And so what we know from the author, each of the scenarios should be completely different with different maps, different goals, and different mechanics. So if you are interested in this title, just check out the rest of this video. So the Guns of the Old West are on the table. First of all, I would like to mention that this is a prototype. In this prototype, we got two boards. First one is on the table. Second one is built with those rectangular boards, and you are going to build a train. This is a very long board with train elements where you're going to fulfill your quest, your mission. And now, what is the game? So the game is set in Wild West, obviously. And in this game, players are going to play as a bad guys and a good guys. The game can be played with two players, but you can play with even more players. As in each of the teams, you're going to use a few characters. Now, first of all, what I want to mention is that this game is using this branching campaign, depending on which of the sides we won in the previous mission scenario. Different scenario is going to be played as a second one, and so on and so on. And in here we have this chart showing that depending on the path, different scenarios are going to be played. So we have a lot of them, and what we know that I think more or less 100 scenarios should be ready. And in here we have gold dust retrieval. So this scenario that I have on the table. In here, one team of outlaws, their objective is to ensure that none of the stolen gold bars are recovered by the lawmen. And lawmen recover at least one of the gold bars, and we have a time limit, 12 rounds. So as you can see, this is the setup of the scenario. Each of the scenarios should be different, should be built with different rules and different goals. But now let's go through elements of the board and characters. So as I said, the game is played with two teams. We have good guys and bad guys, and here we have an example of bad guys. Those are the boards for those players. And what information you can find on the board: weapon, character, range, so how many locations from the character you can shoot, ammo, how many ammo you are going to have. Those blue cubes represents how many ammo, so blue cubes you're going to spend to perform actions. And below you have information on what kind of cubes are going to be used to perform an attack. Obviously the white ones are the weakest ones. We have also yellow, purple, and black cubes. Those stats over here this is a symmetrical element of this game, because those stats gives you different amount of specific tokens, and those tokens are going to be used in the game. So obviously accuracy is used for fighting, and evade and grit are used when you're trying to escape the bullet. You also can have, for example, stealth, survival, or horsemanship. Those are not about tokens, but different tests that you can perform in the game. And here the stealth is the most interesting one, because you can be hidden in a board game from the sight of your opponents. About this in a second. Track on the right hand side, this is your health track. So every time you're going to be hit, you're going to lower your health. And when you get a serious wound, you're going to draw serious wound card, which is going to somehow influence your character. So in here we have evade skill reduced to 0. It's poison, maybe a bad example, but infection, grit skill reduced to 0, bad example. Soft tissue injury, this one can be a good one, especially when you were hit. Unable to use first aid kits or bleeding out, all skills reduced to 1. So in here we have those modifiers, negative modifiers of your characters. To heal yourself, you can use first aid tokens, but also you can use those red cards with first aid elements like field bandages, heal a serious wound and remove serious wound card, for example. We have different ones. Medicine Man, heal a light wound on an ally within the same space. So even with a little bit of interaction between characters, between players. So those are the boards. In here we have boards of the good guys. They look exactly the same. So, but the good guys are using different weapons, and Texas Ranger and I think Sheriff Marshall. Those two guys are using the very strong dices from the beginning. So you want to run away from them, especially when you compare those dice with the dice of the bad guys. Here we have black and purple, and here we have white and yellow. So it's not going to be so easy to fight each other and win the game. What we have on the board? So board is split in the sectors. In each sector you can place your characters. In the prototype we got standees, but final product is going to have plastic miniatures. So sectors, different sectors, depending on color of the sector, you can or cannot enter it, or this sector is going to benefit you in a way. For example, this black one is unpassable, you cannot enter this location, and this camp over here, this camp forces you to spend more action points to enter this location. And for example, this with this purple outline, those are the bashes, let's say, and in here you're going to get some kind of bonuses when you're going to attack or protect yourself. We also have barrels that are going to influence the location, and you can use them to your advantage. And those tokens of search, every time you enter here and perform search action, you can find some useful items, so it's useful tokens, or also a snake that is going to bite you and take one of your health points. So this board reminds us a little bit maybe of Conan by Monolith or Mythic Battle Sparkion. So we have this map of location split on using the grid and sectors, each of them with different advantages and disadvantages that you can use for your characters. So as I said, the good guys want to get back the stolen gold from the location, from the board, and take them back to the starting position, which is on the right hand side from this bridge over here. So you want to take those tokens and bring them back to this bridge location, and the bad guys are trying to stop you. So this is this first demo scenario that we got in this prototype. And now let's go through the mechanics, because the mechanics in this game are rather straightforward, and you shouldn't be overwhelmed by them, I think. So in your turn you can perform 3 actions. You are also going to use this deck of cards. So before actions, I would like to show you this deck of cards, because this deck of cards is the heart of this game, I believe, because obviously you can attack your enemy just like that and roll the dice, and that's it. Or you can use those cards to modify your attack in a way. So for example, here we have forceful directive, move an ally within the 6 spaces up to 2 spaces in any direction. Or for example, defuse any trap, including those played by an opponent's cards. Counterattack after an attack, defender rolls 2 yellow dice, attacker defends. Or booby trap, attacker sets up trap and suffers 1 health loss. So in here we have those elements that are going to influence the game and override a little bit those core rules that are written in the rulebook. And you You can have maximum of 4 cards, 4 of these cards in your hand. So again, it's not like you're going to be like walking killing machine with a lot of possibilities. But again, you're going to draw those cards at the beginning of your turn, so the flow of this deck is going to be quite fast. In here, we also have information how many cards you need to discard with this one to perform this action. So those costs can be greater, because in here you have to spend a total of 3 cards, so it's quite a lot. The deck is thick, so those combat cards are going to influence your attacks and the defense in the end. But now let's go back to the actions. So as I said, here we have this set of actions. First of all, you can use dynamite to break through terrain or attack a player. So you're throwing a grenade and blowing up your enemies or parts of the board to your advantage. You can also draw an item card, and there is a hand limit depending on color of the deck. So we have different colors of the decks: purple and orange and red, and those decks are used in a different way and are influencing different parts of the game. So the orange deck influences your passive skills, for example. So in here you can increase your grit skill by 2, or evade skill, or accuracy, or maybe survival, and so on. Here are the upgrades of your character. In a purple deck, you can find another modifier of the attacks. For example, in here we have purple bullet. Replace any die with a purple one. So not only you're going to use those big combat cards, you can also use those purple cards to modify your attack. And this can be very useful, especially for those bad guys, because if you're using only whites and yellows, this one extra purple die can make a difference. And we have again quite a lot of those cards. And this is purple deck. And the final deck I already showed you. Those are the first aids that are going to be used to heal yourself. So this is the action that you can perform. You can draw an item card, and as I said, there is also a limit of the cards depending on the color. So you cannot have a lot of purples, and you cannot change all of your white dice into purple ones, because your hand limit is going to block this. You also can heal yourself or share supplies with other players. Obviously, when you're healing yourself, you're just discarding first aid tokens and so on. You can also perform search action. I already told you about this one. So on those locations with tokens, you can search this place and find useful things, or a snake. You can also try to attempt to unlock a safe. So another big part of this game, this big mechanic, is unlocking safes. We have this green deck with cards, and in this deck we have those safes like this one, secured safe. A secured safe may contain up to 2 valuable items. You can hide something in this deck if you wish. For example, maybe those golden bars. If this mechanic would be implemented on this scenario, the bad guys could hide those golden bars in this safe, and the good guys need to break in and steal them. So it's not so easy, especially that we have also those fake cards, so you can pretend that something is hidden, and at the end this safe is empty. And last, like regular action, is just basically movement. So as I said, just moving by 1. This is it. So those are the actions that you can perform, but this is not all. Another one is obviously attacking. So I already told you about attacking, and another one is you can attempt to capture or liberate a player. So in this game, you can capture your enemies, put handcuffs on their hands, and even guard them. So maybe some other player is going to try to rescue them, if it's going to be useful for them or not. You don't have to kill yourself. You also can capture another player, and that's why you can also liberate a player, because if you manage to get to this captured player, you can liberate him or her. And also there are 3 those, let's say, upkeep actions. So first one is active Overwatch guard mode, and this is very interesting because this action uses this triangle. And in using this triangle, you're going to show which which area on the board is guarded by your character. So for example, if you would put this token in here and your let's say like this, your character is standing here, you need to draw imaginary line or use a ruler or something like this and draw those lines from here to here, spreading out. That shows that this area is guarded by this character, and every time enemy enters this area and is in line of sight or range of the revolver or weapon, this enemy is going to be attacked by default. So that's why I said at the beginning that you can be in a stealth mode, because if your test is successful, even if you enter this guarded area, you can be not seen and do not get a bullet. And also this guard mode is very useful with this previous one, with this captured enemies. You can guard them, and it's going to be more difficult for your enemies to liberate their companion. You can also reload your ammo, so get back your blue cubes of ammo and replenish attribute tokens from token pickups. And this is it. Those are the all actions. As I said, you can perform only 3 of them, and there is going to be a lot of enemies on the board, so it's not so easy to decide which of them you want to perform, especially that those health tracks are rather short. Even with the 3, after second damage, you're going to draw a wound card, so it's going to be quite fast. So those are the guns of the Old West, competitive team game set in a Wild West world. The game is using campaign modes and branching campaign modes that can last, I think, 7 missions maximum. And the team that won 4 of them is going to be a winning team. So this is the game, Guns of the Old West. The game is going to be on crowdfunding platform soon. So if you are interested in this title, just check out the description below. And thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.